Well, there we go. Hey, looky there. Let's see here. So Facebook has apparently made some changes to their streaming. So apparently we don't get to stream on Facebook anymore.
Oh, well.
It's their loss. But in the interim, let's uh let's go live on Instagram. See if they'll let me do that. Hey, we're live on Instagram, so that's some sort of part of Facebook. Anyway,
It's
I'll have to look into what criteria we don't meet for Facebook streaming.
60 days and 100 followers.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the followers. We gotta start pimping this shit out hard.
Yeah. I guess
Maybe.
the algorithm just,
We're taking up too much valuable bandwidth. What? I don't.
too much valuable algorithm space. It can't find enough Nazi accounts to promote. Oh, wait, that's Twitter's algorithm.
Does Twitter even have an algorithm anymore? Isn't it just pretty much the wasteland from Mad Max?
It pretty much is. It's just, I started posting more on Twitter, and then Elon bought it. And so I kind of backed off to see what would happen. And I mean, it's like the bottom dropped out over there. There's like 5 accounts left that I follow
Jesus.
religiously. And then the rest is just a whole bunch of right wing nonsense. Like, do you believe so and so? It's like, no. And for a while, I couldn't get rid of ads, like I tried
I
to turn them off and it just popped them right up. So,
I never ever figured out how to make Twitter useful. I will be honest. I could never make it anything that I had the time to sort through. Maybe that's just a failure on my part, but it was never my favorite social media platform.
no, it was good when I jumped on. It was good because you had a lot of there were a lot of like reporters who I'd come across on POTUS, the POTUS channel,
Sure, sure, okay.
and so you had a bunch of guys that you figured that were entertaining, that were good middle of the road reporters, that never strayed too far to one side or the other. They really were tight, and then they just kind of disappeared. And then you're like seeing Charlie Kirk post. It's like, why?
Oh,
I've never met. You're like going through. I've never liked a picture of potatoes. I've never.
are you sure
I
you were
sure.
drunk one night drinking
Yeah, they
vodka
did. I
and you
went on a
said,
bender and I just liked every potato photo I could find. And the
I
next
like
day,
vodka, potato, potato, potato.
potato, potato, potato. And instead, you get Turning Point Chuck griping about, or no, it's Ben Shapiro's the one who can't get a girlfriend. you know, I don't understand it. Why these women don't like me? I don't know, because you're a misogynist. Just top of my head shit.
I'm just
Uh,
spitballing here.
spitball. You look like you've
Your
got
credit card was rejected.
Mhm. Yeah, you got like yeah. You got a 60-year-old man head on a 12-year-old body. Your suits don't fit. There's so much
How much
damage,
time you got, Chuck?
Chuck. Yeah, there's just like, yeah, you tune in for 5 minutes, sound off, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's never getting laid. Then you turn the sound on, you're like, oh my god, how did he make it through life without, being found dead in a locker in high school because they bullies locked him up and they forgot he was there over summer break.
Well, when you're organizing the high school Reich, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
future
Maybe they
fascists of America,
Mhm.
FFA. Thank you. Thank you.
Little brown corduroy jackets, little red patch on the
The
sleeve.
swastika on the back.
There's swastika on the back, giant swastika on the back. Little black armband with this, frowny face emoji. I don't know. Oh shit.
All right, then. We're off
So
to a good
you're
start.
right. Twitter is useless. Instagram is great. I used to have a good. It's gotten the algorithm there too. I think I do believe like social media awareness should be taught like in high schools.
If it's
At
going to
some
stick
level,
around, I think that's fair. Yeah.
at some level to understand that the algorithm pushes engagement. Okay. And so I think like in the beginning stages of Facebook, if you had some weird bent or some weird, you sort of somehow glommed onto other people. So,
Hmm.
and maybe we've talked about like how the weird kids in high school like go off to college, find their crowd, and then become successes in life, but carry around all that pain from being bullied. Now they find each other online, and it just makes them worse. You know.
It goes back to that old Patton Oswald article that I've referenced several times about how, and it was what was the undoing of Gonzo Geek. It's there's no cachet in anything anymore, right? I mean,
Oh
anything
yeah,
you want to know is at your fingertips. There's no benefit to learning, to
finding
having,
things out.
yeah, to, or even just like having a weird thing that you know everything about, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all right there. The history of mankind is at your fingertips. So there's no cat there. Yeah. So yeah.
No, there was a comedian who does a joke about how, he goes, Google, this is how Google works. If you want to know where Tom Petty's from, you pick up your phone and you ask the question and it tells you. You didn't have to go to the library, and you didn't have to do this, and you didn't have to do this. And then you didn't have to ask that weird chick at the bar and she tells you Tallahassee, and that's how you found your wife.
Heard that bit before. Yes.
It's a great bit.
Yes. Yes.
But no, now you just pick up your phone and Um, we've
So
had
you,
these.
but you don't know, right? Because
No,
it's not earned. You don't know. It's in. You answer the trivia question, and it's out. You don't do, and it doesn't lead to the little side quests that they become more of an obsession, right? I've had the conversation, and I've probably said it on here before, but that's how, and I think I'm not alone in this journey, but how I approach music, right?
hmm
It was a backward facing thing, but it split off. Like, okay, if I liked Rat and they loved Aerosmith, and I listened to Aerosmith, Aerosmith loved the Stones, go to the Stones reference, you know, John Lee Hooker. Okay, then I'm into the blues, and then it's a whole other thing, right?
hmm
And then there's different styles of blues, and that's what's lost is the potential for
discovery.
discovery and enlightenment, frankly.
Yeah. Well, we've had this discussion about AI. I've got people at work who are like, we need to introduce AI into this. We need to introduce AI. And I'm like, okay, here's what I think we need to do. We need to use AI to help us, mine data sets. We need AI to help us correlate and make connections between things that we think are connected. And AI goes and does the heavy lift for us, right? And I said, but you guys want to introduce it into this process and this process and this process, which is fine, except you're creating superficial expertise. And that we're going to end up, if we are not careful, a generation of people who just take Google to the next level and say, I use AI, AI does this, I'm an expert at doing that thing you want me to do. And you're like, cool, do it without the computer. And they're like, you're joking, right?
Exactly.
I'm a guy. You tell me what you want. And I get AI to do it for you, And so because I've talked about this at work. It's like you lose the capacity for people to think their way out of a paper bag. They just won't be able to do it.
We're almost there as it is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the end is fucking open. Turn around.
That's right. Has nobody seen 2001? I mean, because
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're. I mean, that's where it's pointing me.
Yeah,
I had
anyway.
I had I had someone say, my boss asked me one day, asked me how we could maybe use AI to facilitate accounting procedures, and I'm like, I'm sure there are ways,
Mhm.
but I have to think about that because I mean, so much of that is, I mean, the detail is where I get scared, right?
Mhm.
Because I feel like it's a blanket approach, right? Maybe, and I don't know if to talk about it, but yeah, I've been presented with the question too, and I my hesitancy is not self-preservation; it's understanding what the ROI is, right? I think that's
What the ask is? What's the upfront ask? is because what we encounter at work is they're like, we just need to be using AI. Everybody's using AI. And you're like, okay, have you ever asked Chat GPT a question, a real question? Because it's like a kid in junior high giving a book report on a book he's never read, you know. And I go, you read a Chat GPT, you ask it a question, and it just regurgitates. And like professors and teachers will tell you, I can always tell if you wrote your paper at the last minute. You read some of this stuff, and you're like, that's a response. That's not an answer. And I think that as more people rely on AI to do these things, you're going to get a group of people who don't know the difference between an answer and a response and think that just saying yeah is an answer. No, that's not an answer. You didn't give me your input. You didn't give me your thought. You didn't actually think the problem through. You just said, well, let's see what Google says. Well, what do you think?
If I wanted to know what Google said, I can do that myself.
I do it right here on my phone, and I'll never find, I'll find out where Tom Petty's from. So.
I'll remind you. Just, I know.
I think it's Tallahassee, which I learned from the Surge Storm books. But anyway.
Oh, nice. Yes. It's also, I learned from memorizing state capitals when you had to do such a thing.
Oh, yeah. Pat Ducote.
That was parishes, wasn't it?
Oh,
well, that was 8th grade Louisiana history.
No. I saw junior, and I had to do it in Ducote.
Okay, we did do it again. Okay. I know we did it like, I remember like they would give us a chunk of parishes every week until we could do the whole map, right? And it was like, why am I ever going to need to know where West Feliciana Parish is? Nobody cares.
Unless I'm sitting at home watching like a tornado report.
And even then I don't care.
That's
it's not one of the parishes I like, so I don't care. If it's north of I-10, it's a Yankee County parish, and I don't care.
I met a guy who knew Bunkie, who said something about Bunkie, Louisiana, and I start laughing. He goes, do you know where it is? I'm like, yeah, it's just outside Opelousas. He goes, how do you know about it? I go, funny story. Me and a friend had a buddy who was always trying to win at everything. And he was trying to beat us both at racquetball, neither of which we didn't play. But at two separate occasions, he took one of us to go to, Red Laurel's and play racquetball. And I believe that we both signed the book as a guest from Bunkie, independent of each other.
I forgot that. Oh, that's funny. Oh, shit. That is right. The boys from Bunkie.
The boys from Bunkie. I go, Bruce went and did it. Then I went and did it. Then Bruce started talking about it later. And Bruce said, I said I was from Bunkie. And I'm like, I said it was from Bunkie. We're like, ah.
And then he pile drove you.
What was? Oh, it was those little disc guns. Wasn't that it? I was like shooting that all over the.
You're ricocheting them off the walls. In that little front room, yes.
Oh. Lovely day.
He was a little tightly wound.
Yes, he was.
I think he'd be an interesting.
He is still.
I think he'd be an interesting guest to get on here and see if he can keep up. Also to compare recollections, because I know you and I have our own version of events.
Yeah. Hey, Art, remember Julie? Just
click.
And we've lost our guest, so.
Oh, God. Okay. I have a funny story.
All right.
Random story. So, both of the boys are working in Dallas, right? They both have jobs. Jack is doing something related to his psychology major. He's interning at a behavioral therapy facility.
Good.
Yeah. He's enjoying it. Working with kids, which he didn't think he would like, but he's enjoying it. And I get this text from my son at about 4:10 this afternoon. One of my clients' grandpa is gorgeous Gino Hernandez from World Class Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
Excuse me, what? My response is, in fact, say what now? Followed by the handsome half-breed ? And he had his own episode on Dark Side of the Ring. And he said, yeah, it's my boss's dad, actually. The client is her son. Wait, what? Your boss is Gino's kid? And then he goes radio silent on me.
Okay.
Little bastard. And I call him. He goes, I'm still at work. I'll talk to you later. Son of a bitch, you don't get to do that to me. Tell me you're working for Gino Hernandez kid, which I did verify he had two. And yeah. So yeah. Jack is like, I talked to him later and I was like, that Gino was in the Iron Claw for about 2 seconds. The guy playing Gino. I was like, remember when Dave? And we started talking about it a little bit. And when we had met them in Waco, we do that every once in a while. It's halfway between Dallas and Austin. We'll meet them in Waco, have lunch. We did that yesterday.
Lunch at Magnolia?
They're closed on Sundays. Everything Magnolia is closed on Sundays, which seems like lost revenue to me. We had that conversation yesterday. But a couple weeks ago when we went and met him, I was cleaning up and I found some of those old, the tape trader in the late 90s, early aughts when they were tape trading, and I had some DVDs that were like world class. I found. I'm like, oh, here, y'all watch these, because we had seen the Iron Claw, right? And I'm like, did you watch any of those DVDs I gave you? Because I'm pretty sure your kid's grandpa's on one of them. He was coked up, but he wasn't dead. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? And Jack's like, he was telling me his grandpa fought, I forgot who first, and in Dusty Rhodes, I'm like, yeah, there's a picture of him fighting Dusty on his Wikipedia page. So yeah.
That makes me a little bit ill.
So yeah, Jack's like, I really want to talk to I'm like, tread lightly, because depending on which version of the story you believe, he either OD'd horribly or was murdered. So just maybe don't go all in on that. To lean lightly on that. But yeah, so Jack he thinks he's like 1 degree removed from Dusty now. That's his big takeaway from the whole thing. It's really like 4 degrees, but I didn't have the heart to break it to him.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was weird, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it's like running into somebody who knows where Bunky is.
True. Or here's the other. This one popped into my head the other day. Weird coincidences, right? So when the boys were little, they were going to this preschool daycare thing, and there was a bunch of boys, right? And so one of the moms put together a weekend play group, and we would rotate houses and getting to know these people. And there was this one couple. They were married. They were from Lafayette. Okay. Small world. Yeah. They went to Como. Okay. Do you remember my girlfriend Sherry?
Vaguely.
She was in the same class as them.
At Como? Okay.
Uh-huh. And then they both went to LSU. He was in the band, so he knew my ex-girlfriend Valerie because she was in the band. I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? That I'm in the fourth largest city in the country. It's weird enough that there's 3 of us from Lafayette in his parents' group of 10 kids, and that there's then all those other intonations. It was just,
and then they all know the same people.
Yeah, it's just weird shit. So,
yeah. Oh, that was it. I'm trying to think of where the guy was. He was a traveler. He took a call.
He was a gypsy.
Yes. No, electricians. There's Indian designation, a traveler.
Oh, okay.
It goes from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. And I was walking behind him, and he was wearing the shirt for the Baton Rouge local.
Okay.
And so I asked him a question. He turned around, had the accent and everything. We start talking. He's like, yeah, I ain't from Baton Rouge. I'm over from so-and-so. He goes, I'm outside of some Opelousas. I go, really? And there we go. Because I'm from a town called Bunky. I was like, I know that town.
Where our sisters used to serve band time in the summer.
Jerry's kids, yes. Oh man. So yeah.
So I speaking of Louisiana, how about Joey Bro?
I haven't been able to sit down and watch him. I've watched a couple of them. Every time I pull him up to watch, Chris is like, what is that? I'm like, just put that away.
He's gotten. Speaking of the algorithm, so I can't not watch it now, right? But it's like he's one today. He was like, I got over, and it's not a Cajun accent. It's that weird swamp accent like the
It's not that New Orleans Southern Bronx
no,
accent.
it's the between Lafayette and New Orleans accent. It's the uh
Eh,
what's down there? I cannot Thibodeau
Liberia?
accent. It's the Thibodeau
Thibodeau?
accent. Thibodeau accent.
Okay.
Anyway, he was apparently he's got like 140,000 followers, but he's also getting some haters, and he's starting to talk that coon ass redneck. I want to fight you shit, which is even funnier, right? Oh, the best part of your you ran down your mama's leg.
Yeah,
It's like, that was
yeah,
in one of them. I swear, I'm not making it up. He actually said that, and I was like, "You are a beautiful gem that the internet is not good enough for."
they don't deserve you, Johnny Bro.
So good, so good. Uh,
Johnny Bro.
Joey bro, and God bless him. He can sing like Corey Feldman can sing.
Oh my God. I swear to God, seeing that cadaver dude with the big, we're all sweating bullets because it's like 100 degrees and we're packed in there. And that dude shows up in a studded black leather coat. And you're just like, really? And then Will comes back to the table. I touched Corey Feldman.
We were all laying hands on. Because why wouldn't you want to get the Feldman on you?
Exactly.
Oh God, that might be the title.
Which will get the Feldman. Oh man, that was. Oof.
I had potato down already, but why wouldn't you want to get the
Well.
Feldman on you better?
There we go.
So I want to talk about X-Men 97. That was the one thing I wrote down. Can we talk
Okay.
about that now that I finished watching it? I think
The first episode is horrible.
it's terrible.
It's unwatchable. And the second episode wasn't much better. But I'd run out of things to watch.
I'm getting there myself.
Yeah. So then I kind of it picks up steam. But my God, it just chews up storylines.
Well, and there's some of it. I mean, yeah, they chewed through like a decade's worth of content in like 8 episodes, right?
Oh,
And some of the changes didn't make any sense. Which is the one that makes the least sense to you? I'm just curious.
The change that Morph. Where the hell did that guy come from?
The old cartoon series, but now he's
Oh, is that
gay,
it?
Now he's
Okay.
gay for Wolverine.
Yeah,
Which I don't think he was back in the 90s, but anyway. It was the Goblin Queen for me. It
Okay.
made no sense that she became, because that was a whole that was what the whole Inferno storyline to get her there.
Exactly, and we did it in 15 minutes.
If that, like she remembered who she was, and suddenly she was the Goblin Queen, and she didn't have the corset either. But anyway,
No. Yeah, wait. Morph can be gay for Wolverine, but she can't wear a corset. Who the fuck is writing this stuff?
I was just sitting there watching it going. I remember there were demons
Yes.
and deals with the devil and like a fight for like limbo. There was a lot that got her there. It wasn't just, oh, I shook off my
By
confusion.
the way, Scott.
Yeah. I was like, and then Forge shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard because I was like, oh, fuck, I've fallen asleep again. It's like I wake up and Forge has that stilted, I don't know what the hell accent that was.
That was the worst. The dialogue is just the worst. It is like, speaking of generated by AI, there was no slang, no lilt to anyone's speech. It was all very much written like this, and we will read it just like it is on this piece of paper. Bub.
Yes.
It was horrible.
Oh, except that Wolverine talks like this, bub. And Scott Summers talks like this, bub. And Hank, that first episode, Hank's dialogue was so fucking bad. Oh, am I a Rudite Blue Azules? And you're like, why are we trying so hard? He's called Beast. He's got blue fur. Who gives a shit if he's a professor who grunts? He's kind of cool looking. Just let it be.
You know what? I fell in love with the Beast when he was in the Avengers, and he was a swinging ladies man. Like, it was awesome. He was going on double dates with Wonder Man. They were going to
Oh,
see
nice.
movies. They were hanging out. He's wearing like Hawaiian shirts. Like, it was like 79. The Hawaiian shirts done down to his belly. The blue furs pouring out. And then he went back to the X-Men and turned into a stick. It's just like, the explanation was, well, he was apparently at that point giving off some sort of pheromones that attracted him. Well, then why the hell did he stop doing that?
You know, kidding.
He could be
Yes.
scoring in the mansion, man.
Yeah, you live in a mansion and it's not filled with about a whiny mutant crybabies. It's got Captain America and you've got Iron Man.
At that point, Captain
Thor swings through from time to time.
And at that point, Miss Marvel was wearing like the French cut
Nice
onesie
yes.
with the big belt.
Yes,
And Scarlet Witch wasn't looking too bad either. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
But even like when he swung back to the X Mansion, Storm's in the attic.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
It'd be
Get a
kind of
little-
kinky if, like, Rogue touched and she sprouted blue fur too. All kind of weird shit's happening.
whoa, yeah.
Dating tips for the beast.
Dating tips for the beast. I'm gonna also go with Rogue's attraction to Magneto.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? It was a little
It's
weird.
like I get that you're on the rebound after Gambit bit it, which let's be honest, chef kiss to the writers. Sha, that mother, he needed to go.
Oh, my lord.
Oh, dear Lord. Bazap.
My least favorite character in the history of comic books, Gambit.
I'm right there with you.
Because
It's got
he's from New Orleans, but he talks like he's from Karen Crow. What the
Yes.
fuck?
And it's because they just like, well, I can't do the Southern Bronx nasally thing, so I'm going to go. Speaking of bad accents, have you ever watched CSI New Orleans?
No.
Oh, they got a guy who's supposed to be Cajun,
Oh, no.
and he talk and he get this real hard enunciation, and that's kind of how I think the Gambit talk.
we were
Shall
going into Home Depot yesterday on the way back from seeing the boys. And I was, for whatever reason, I got out of the car talking like a coon ass, and I was just dropping all the T's from everything I said. Honey, you got that list? She's like, what is wrong with you? I don't know. I feel like talking like this for a minute now. My lord.
I had somebody at work goes, every now and again your Southern accent comes through. I'm like, really? How?
I don't hear it, and I've known you
Yeah.
a long damn time, Sharon.
He goes, like when you say y'all, I go, that's not an accent. That's I was at a meeting and I did say, well, look, all y'all got to do this. And everybody's looking back up. Just so you know, that's the plural of y'all. I
All
forgot
y'all.
that. It had to
Yes.
be reminded. I
Yes.
go, but all y'all means all y'all.
That is the plural. That is a fact.
Y'all means all.
That's a
Got it?
solid
Got it?
Southern fact right there.
But yeah, I was like that. I go, you if you hear it, that's news to me. I have never had a Southern accent. I have dropped into the Cajun patois talking to guys down there, but you kind of, you hear it, and all of a sudden you like, oh God, I'm talking just like them. You know,
I can always like pick it up when I like if I pick up the phone and I hear it. I'm like, where are you from in Louisiana? It's like the third. I'm like, hi, how can I help you? Where in Louisiana are you from? Because you can't. When was the last time I talked to somebody? They were from Maurice, I think.
oh man,
But yeah, I mean that accent is just
so
unmistakable.
yeah, exactly. And you
And
hear
that's
it,
why I
mean,
hate Gambit.
I just think he's a dumb character, and he's the epitome of bad costume design for that
for
era.
fuck yes.
We've got the
What the headgear?
we've got the what is it? The head warmer, the stocking without a face. I don't know. It's like
half
a
a
legging.
balaclava.
Yeah, it's what are you doing? You're cutting the tops off the things to slide them over your
And
head.
he cuts the top off his balaclava, cuts the fingers off of half his
That's-
gloves.
Yeah.
Every third finger. I don't know what the hell that is.
And
With a
then
trench
throws
coat.
on a
He's
leather
from New
trench
Orleans,
coat
and he's wearing a full-length leather trench coat. Fuck
Over a
you,
bodysuit.
Jim Lee.
over a bodysuit. over
Fuck
a
you,
catsuit.
Jim Lee.
So he has a place to put his cards, y'all. Zap, zap, zap.
And he got a
I-
stick too. Don't forget that, Sheriff.
Oh yeah, that's right. He got a stick. Yo,
Where the hell are you keeping that stick? I want to know.
it's like
I know he can
Mojo's
keep
coat.
that deck of cards in his pocket, but where the hell are you keeping that stick?
I'm telling you, it's like Mojo's coat. You know, what a strange little man. And for those of
Gambit
you
or Mojo?
who ever heard about it, Gambit, weird. You guys can get that. Mojo's a little guy we know from Comic Con who we've been
The
weirdly
Moj.
stuck in panels with. And the one that killed me is that he's sitting over here pulling shit like Doctor Who out of his coat, like Harpo Marx, man. He just reaches in and just pulls out stuff, and he pulls a tripod out of
Yes, I
there.
remember that. We were in the room that faced out over the bay, and he was by the windows. I remember.
Yeah, and he reaches into the suit and pulls out a tripod. It's like, really, it's a Harpo Marx thing. You're going to see him pull a harp out and then a
Rubber
horn, and he's going
chicken.
to put his arm in some woman's hand. I don't know. He's going to run around making funny faces.
Well, he kind of did do that. And his
Yeah, and meanwhile,
Destro
Predator is just going to sit there looking cool.
Mojo with his Destro meets Alice Cooper face paint.
Yeah. But you got to
Ah.
like a guy who is that committed to the bit, man.
God love you, Moj.
I told you, I was out there with a bunch of Funko people, and I was standing in the street. Moj walks by on the curb, and I was like, Moj, gives me a big hug. Boom. Oh man, it's so good to see you,
Ew.
dude. Fuck yeah, we're going partying. You need to come with us. He's got like this really weird merry band of misfits. So it's Moj, and it's Predator, and it's like two chicks on the end who are like smoking hot, and you're kind of like going, blink twice if you're in trouble, kind of a thing.
Is it like a Corey's Angel situation?
Exactly. So they go, and the one gal goes, "How do you know him?" And I go, "I've sat in panels with him. What about you?" She goes, "He says he knows where to party." And I'm like, I don't doubt that. Good luck.
Yeah.
He leaves, and the Funko people go, "How do you know that homeless guy?" And I'm like going, "Homeless?" I mentioned that I'm standing in the gutter and he's on the curb, and I still have about this much on him. Right? And I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's the Moj." They're like, "The what?" I go, Mojo El Diablo, the Moj. You don't know the Moj? And they're like, "Are you sure he's not homeless?" I'm like, "Maybe in LA, I don't know, but he has promised to take me going like drug partying with Ron Jeremy." So I
so I got
exactly.
so I got that going for me, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Dalai Lama. Gunga da gunga, gunga gunga. What's that mean? It means we're going to do we're going to do porn star karaoke with Ron Jeremy and a handful of Viagra and Coke. So
I don't think I could hang with the Moj at this point.
no, I think he'd kill us. If the
Oh, what
shit
a
he
story.
says is true. Oh yeah. Man, we'll go to the Viper Room and we're gonna get into those guys' coats and steal all their drugs because they got all the good drugs. It's like
You and I would come back like Vietnam vets.
1,000-yard stare. What's going on, man? I seen shit. I went partying with Moj. We ended up at a party. I don't know. There were hookers doing lines off of some guy's dick. And at that point, things got
horror.
weird.
Oh, horror.
Moj is sitting on the diving board like Kurtzman. I want you to dance for me.
Moj apocalypse now.
Apocalypse Moj.
That's it.
Yeah, Apocalypse Moj.
That's it.
Predator sitting off to the side, like, guarding the door. I'm going to do Kurtzman like, what are you doing like, the Godfather.
I've only got one Marlon Brando impression. That's all I got. Speaking of Mojo, that was my favorite half an episode of X-Men 97.
That was great. No, that was fun. And I went back to watch it because of the Mojo episode. And then I fell asleep and I thought, oh my God, no, the arcade? Where the hell am I?
Wait, Arcade was in it? Did I
No,
miss
he
that?
wasn't.
Okay.
So I just
I
figured
blacked
that
out.
means
Okay.
next season will be The Brood, Australia,
The Besieged Perilous, all
Yeah.
that shit. Marauders.
Oh, Marauders would be nice. Yeah, yeah.
They'd last the whole episode.
They might actually make it 2. They'd roll them over.
Like one guy did have tank treads, so
Yeah. How cool is that guy? Way to go, Mark Silvestri. You created, I don't
Tank
know,
Boy.
Tank Boy. Although, didn't they like rip Angel's wings off in X Factor?
Well, that was before though. That was like the
Okay.
Massacre. That was way before because that was like
Okay.
Simonson.
Yeah. Okay. I thought
Simonson
that-
was the first one to draw Archangel, Angel of Death.
Oh, they still can do Apocalypse.
I think they were hinting at that, weren't they? At the end of the last one.
Sure. And the
Did you not stick around for the post-credit sequences at the end of the last episode?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Half of them went to Egypt. The others went to, I don't know, Neverland Ranch.
Why not? Wouldn't be the dumbest thing the X-Men ever did.
No, it wouldn't be. Oh, hey, I hear y'all are children of the atom. Come see my monkey.
I want to split you. Split you like an atom.
Ah, come on, children. Let's go to bed. Whoa, what's going on, Michael? Oh, Jubilee. Oh, you're a girl.
That makes me a little bit ill.
Oh. Have you read the Cleat book yet?
No, I saw a picture. You sent me the cover of it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, goddamn. I went through a couple of the S.A. Cosby books.
That dude can write.
It's kind of funny because I guess the first one is My Darkest Prayer.
I think that's the one I haven't read yet. Yeah.
And he writes about it. He's like, "Oh, this is my first attempt." He goes, "I've reread it, and it's got some good bits in it, but it needs work." And you're kind of like going, "Really? This needs work? I can't put the book down. It's 3 a.m. What would you tighten up?"
He's really good. I've enjoyed. I think he's only written the 3, right?
I think there's 4.
Oh, okay.
There's because I've done
Razorblade Tears.
which was phenomenal.
Oh, so good.
I mean,
so
I got
good.
to the end of that and was just like, teary-eyed of Ike pouring beer out on Buddy Lee's grave.
Yeah.
Which now, if somebody was to say, "Oh, I want to read that book," they got an idea how it ends.
Well, but they don't know the context.
No, they don't know the context. And there was a lot going on in that book about the fathers confronting their own prejudices, which was and just fucking everything up that crossed their path. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a strong read.
And then was it Blacktop Wasteland?
Okay. Yeah, that one was good too. I like that one a lot.
And
I read All the Sinners Bleed. Apparently, I don't remember that one so much. What was that
no, that's the one I've got left to do.
Oh, that one is good. Okay, that one is good. Yeah. That one is good. I haven't read My Darkest Prayer. I gotta go back and read that one.
Okay.
So yeah, but Cleat is. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. It's a good book. It's definitely a
Okay.
James Lee Burke book. It's well written. It is not the Cleat book I wanted, not the Cleat book I expected, but still good. I finished it in like 2 days, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
With work and everything. So I mean, I blew through it. Didn't stop me from reading it.
Okay.
It just wasn't what I was expecting from a Cleat book. But my biggest fear was the Hawk effect. Once you demystify the mysterious sidekick, then he loses all of his lack of a
Mojo?
better- exactly. Thank you. That's where I was going. And it didn't do that, and it was smart. Not spoiling anything for me. It's set back a ways, so
Okay, good.
it's not current, so it's not as hard to believe. As we
When you're sitting there going, "Well, wait a minute, I've been reading this guy for 20 years, and he was 50 then."
and they all fought in Vietnam.
They all fought Vietnam, which slowly gets updated to Afghanistan.
They've not really come up with a good, at least that I've found, a good Gen X PI. It's
Oh, I
our
don't
turn,
think-
isn't it?
Ours? Nah.
No, we don't ever do anything.
No. we don't have any major military action for them to
true.
justify them knowing that psychopath who knows everything about guns. Whenever I got wet work, I call Willie G. You know?
I
We
think I had
served
this,
together back
yeah.
in the
Joe Pike with his red arrows inked on his deltoids and his cut off
back
sweatshirt.
in I met him back in ROTC, but you could tell even then.
It's interesting though, isn't it, that all the ones we like, they're all kind of with the outlier of Spencer,
Well,
who allegedly served in Korea, but that's probably been updated at least to Vietnam at this point. They
It
were all
should
like
be.
Vietnam era. 'Cause, yeah, we've had that conversation when I realized that Spencer was arguably my father's age. I don't see him standing up to the punks on the gutter punks in Boston. I just don't see that.
I just always wondered how neither Belson or Quirk ever got promotions. It's like, come on, guys.
Well,
20
because they
years
kept
on the
working with
force.
Spencer. It's self-fulfilling prophecy.
Their buddy Healy moved up in the DA's office. Just saying.
They like the Duncan closest to that precinct house.
Just never wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll do some vaguely racist repartee with the white guy and the black guy. Because it's Boston. One of us is Irish. You guess.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. I wrote down House of the Dragon, but you don't have Mac, so you haven't seen that, have you?
I haven't seen any of it. No idea.
It is set again way back. Way the fuck back. And we're like 3 episodes in, and there's lots of dragons in this one. They're not hiding the dragons.
Okay.
There's all, and it's more less of like the small folk and more of just the in-house
The mains.
intrigue. Yeah. But
So if it's canceled after like 3 seasons, you're not going to want to know what happened to Sam.
I never wanted to know what happened to Sam.
Why was there a Sam other than,
It was homage to the Lord of the Rings.
No, I just imagine George Martin at a typewriter like Johnny from Airplane. Just cranking out pages.
Well, when you spend 600 words describing a feast, it's easy.
What are they eating? Eels. Yeah. In butter sauce. Yeah. Holiday sauce. Bah. Quail's eggs and runts. And I don't know.
I haven't read the book this one is based on, but the descriptions I've seen of it say it's sort of it's less linear and more of like an oral history written down by folks over time.
Okay.
So we have unreliable narrators and everybody telling their version of events. And I'm like, all right, I may yet have to read that just to see, because I know they're fleshing stuff out on the show, obviously, because it's
Right.
more linear. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get through this season and see if I still feel that need. But I would be that now. I'm like, okay, comparison is gonna get me. I know it is, just to see if it's. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. If it's just not like 18 different perspective shifts and it's just like, an oral history from different narrators, right? That's different, I think. Hope.
Because I read those. I mean, it's been almost a decade since the last book came out.
Yeah, I couldn't even
kind of
tell
like
you.
I don't think he's going to finish it.
No.
No.
And even if he does, I don't care enough to go back and figure out where he left off at this point.
I would agree with that because it's you are kind
I
of like
don't-
going, okay, so if there's 2 more books, my hope is he's like writing them back to back and that they would come out, June and then, September or something.
What is he, Kevin Costner?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like I don't even remember where things ended, and then like they finished the TV show in between, and so that's in my head. And
So yeah, you're going to be like going, wasn't like the book, wasn't like the book. Oh, wasn't like the show.
exactly. Again, that's a perspective switch I don't need in my life. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done with the story, George. I hope you have fun writing your ending. I've already seen how it ends.
I've seen how the peasants ended it.
They put the gimp on the throne.
There we go. There we go. Oh man.
I haven't put up any of our banners tonight. We've just been chatting, and I haven't put anything up.
No,
Look,
that's okay.
there's the Twitter banner.
All right.
Hey, look at that. Twitter. Maybe I should make that X, but I'm not gonna do it.
Nobody does.
What else is going on in your world?
I was on
Oh, you were on vacation for a week. I meant to ask you about that.
hmm
How did you end up in Myrtle Beach?
Kristen picked it.
Okay.
And have you ever been there?
No.
So we go there, and part of me is like going, okay, it's South Carolina. I have an expectation. It's like Lake of the Ozarks, just a boardwalk town. It's a bunch of condos. It's just overbuilt. And I find myself being disappointed that there wasn't more southernness to it.
Oh.
That even being,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And we went to Charleston, which was fantastic. I mean, beautiful town. Apparently, all of it's built on slave graveyards, but
That
it's the
tracks.
South.
It's sort of. Wouldn't expect it to be otherwise, quite frankly.
No. But no, Charleston, no big tall buildings in the part of the town that we were in, the old part of town. And so you're walking down this street, and they've got like 2-story, 3-story, antebellum row houses filled with shops. And it's just kind of, you're walking around. It was a comfortable day. And you're kind of like going, this is kind of what I expected most of my vacation to be like, to be in the South,
Yeah.
We went to an old plantation that got converted into these fabulous sculpture gardens. They did have placards that explain sort of the history of the land. And you're reading one, it's like, plantation owners spent very little time on the plantation. They had a home on the plantation. They'd have one down in Charleston to do their business, and they'd have another home up in the mountains to escape the heat of the summer. And you kind of like read through it, and you're like, wow, that almost makes slavery sound completely benign. Just I got the country house, I've got the city house, I have the plantation, but I don't go there a lot. I mean, that's just miserable. We don't see that.
I believe
Just
that
a
is
bunch of
how
people working
a significant portion of the country would like to portray it. Yes.
I would agree with that, because you're sitting there going, the next thing is, you're like, this had in 1854, this plantation was the largest in the state with over 1,000 slaves, right? And yeah, that's exactly right. That's the face. You kind of read that and go, wow, it's so matter of fact, and just I get it. They wrote it without judgment, but that's a lot of judgment.
Hard not to. I try not to conflate. I really make an effort not to conflate like modern mores with but there's some of it. It's just like that. I don't know how that was ever not wrong.
Exactly. That is exactly. When we're
That's
in
just
Charleston,
misguided. I don't even. There's no.
so we were in Charleston doing the tour, and the guy's like, and over here they did they when they were building the foundation of this,
Foghorn Leghorn was your tour
a little
guide?
bit. It was a little Foghorn, like, because the Carolina accents,
Yeah, that's right.
different,
It's true.
But they're like, and he's like, when of course they went to go dig the foundation for that building over there, they found 34 unmarked graves, and then they did DNA analysis, and they were all of African descent. And I did one of these on the ride. I was like, Jesus God, because it just was like, of course,
not
of
a
course
cracker in the lot.
And it is just it's really weird to me that like these plantation homes, and the nice thing about the one we were the the nice thing about the plantation we were on was it wasn't like one of those.
Please tell me what was nice about it.
Well, for one, there was no historical reenactment, so that was a plus.
That was
But
extra.
no, the big house was gone. The plantation house was gone, and the people who bought the land turned it into a sculpture garden really made this. I mean, it's fucking amazing. I could have spent like 2 days there. But for me, the big thing is that the plantation house is gone. Outside Charleston, you can go walk through the mansion and see all the manicured lawns, and you kind of sit there and you do that face because you're like, yeah, this is real pretty to look at, but how it got here,
It ain't pretty to think about
it
at
is
all.
not pretty to think about at all. And we were there on Juneteenth,
Nice.
which they were having a parade as we were getting ready to leave, and I told Babe, it's like, I kind of would like to have stuck around and watch the parade, just to watch the parade, you know.
We had a Juneteenth celebration at our office, and I was uncomfortable attending. I did not go, and I'm
Really?
not sure if I made the right call. I'm like, I'm the big old white guy with the Colonel Sanders beard at this point. It's like, do I show up? I didn't, and maybe I should have, but I don't know. It made me feel weird.
I would agree with that, because you're kind of like, yeah, my
I don't hold those
ancestors are the
opinions
reason
at
we're
all.
having this
Exactly,
parade.
exactly. There it is. I didn't want to say it, but that is 100% it.
Uh-huh.
I have the family Bible. I know some things, and I'm not proud.
Hey,
So-
I catch a break. My family came over as indentured servants, so I'm fairly concerned we're the first generation of any Sprouse with money.
I'm certain of that on my side.
And we're
But,
talking 1600 shit. So-
the first cook that came over was a Hessian soldier,
oh,
and he jumped sides. Pretty proud of that little piece of family history.
I like it.
I've always been we're a mercenary people. But yeah, no, as much family as I have in Mississippi, I don't want to. Yeah, no.
Well, I think we've done it, like on my side, they've done, I have aunts and uncles who've done like all the research, and they're like, the first Sprouse came over and lived in Virginia. So there was a part of me that kind of wanted to go to these old church graveyards and just look for my name.
Sure,
Thinking, hey, outside shot, but let's give it a look.
you never know, right?
You never know. I mean, my kid can be a daughter of the American Revolution. She can be a daughter of the Confederacy. She can be a daughter of the Union Army.
Yeah, Sandra was a DAR, so Laura could be a DAR. I have no daughters, but we could definitely do the Daughters of the Confederacy if we had one. Not that we necessarily would.
Exactly.
But-
I'm sitting there going, unless there's a scholarship for college, and then
Exactly. That's
sweetheart,
different.
you go and get yourself a big old flouncy Gone with the Wind Tara dress. We're gonna pull the curtain rods off the front windows.
We're gonna put
Do that
nothing
Carol
but-
Burnett thing.
nothing but Kid Rock in the Subaru. Okay, hold on. Time out. This is too. So yesterday we were in Waco, right? We're walking around, kind of the same thing, right? It's the parts that the Gaineses haven't flipped.
Bought and read. Yeah.
We were in this one part of downtown. It was just some cool little old houses, row houses, and things. And we wandered into this record store because the boys like to look, and that's always fun for me. It was a really good record store, which is not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
And we're checking out with a couple of things, and there's a club next door, and the guy's checking us out. He goes, "Yeah, Ted Nugent was in there the other night." I'm like, "Wait, hold on, what?
To who, where?
Ted Nugent was what now?" He goes, "Yeah, he was like right on the other side. He's touching his wall behind him. He was like right here. I hear like this loud stuff starting, and then he starts playing. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. And then I think I recognize the next song, and it's getting louder. And all of a sudden, the ultra right wing diatribe starting. Oh, that's Ted Nugent. Okay, never mind. Like, what is Ted Nugent playing some little hole in the wall nightclub in Waco on a Wednesday night? What is that? Actually, he lives around there somewhere, probably. But
Oh, it's militia night. This goes out to Dave Koresh and all the good brothers and sisters of the Davidians. Yeah.
Wango Tango.
Waco,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Waco, Baco. Anyway,
Wang dang. Nope, can't sing that one in Waco. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's wow. That's
Yeah, weird shit. So yeah,
no, but
so
I thought it would have been fun to look. But Charleston was really nice, and that to me felt southern. And somebody was like, "Oh man, it's so hot and humid." I'm like, "This is
please.
nothing." And I was like, I really weirdly felt comfortable. Racism aside, I felt comfortable. in
Temperature
Charlotte.
wise, temperature wise, you were good.
Temperature wise, I was fine. There was a lot of the race stuff that really just, and this is where they held the slave auctions. It's like, I'm not exactly
Why
sure
is
that's a
that
source of
still
pride.
there?
Why hasn't that been bulldozed?
Seriously?
Well, and now I did learn something is that the United States Constitution said that we could not pass any laws outlawing slavery until 20 years after the Constitution was ratified. I'm sorry, we couldn't do anything to outlaw the international trading of the slave trade until 20 years after it was ratified.
What?
So 180, yeah, in 1808, that's when the trade, the bringing them over from Africa stopped.
What the hell, man?
And then you're like going, oh, okay, well, that's still 48 years, and it's like, and that's when the domestic trade took off. You're like, oh
Oh,
shit.
damn it. That's
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing. You're just saying like, I know this stuff is out here, and I hate that it's out here. I just,
I know I'm
there's part of me that just hated the plantation thing. I kind of normalized it. And that's part that I felt really uncomfortable with because it's just sort of like, and over here is the slave graveyard. And you're just like, hey, out of respect, that should be off the tour.
yeah,
we shouldn't know where that is, right?
that's just disrespectful.
It's kind of how I felt. And it just was like, uh, and then you have like a recovered rice field, and you're looking at that going, Jesus Christ, it would take 1,000 people to work that. I mean,
Yeah,
literally to do all the work. But I mean, it's just like tasks were divvied up according to gender and strength. And you're like, tasks?
that wasn't
Tasks?
tasks.
Wait,
It's not like a to-do list.
Yeah, there wasn't like a whistle and a punch in, punch out clock, and that like all the slaves walked up to the cabin and got their work assignments for the day. It just
Jesus.
it was just written such a way as if, oh, it's just like going to a job.
It was so you didn't feel guilty about being white.
That didn't work.
Good. That's the right answer.
No, it was just sort of like, wow, everything about this is truly horrific, and that was the part that bothered me, that it was just normalized, like oh yeah,
Yeah.
it just, that's what kind of boggled my mind.
Yeah.
But
I mean, anytime I go to Mississippi, I'm always confronted with things, and it's just like I don't. So glad my dad didn't feel compelled to stay.
yeah, so anyway, but then we did go to a couple places that had seafood that was really nice, kind of on the
Fresh.
marsh.
Nice.
Yeah, freshish, very fresh. That was nice.
Shrimp and grits.
I did do shrimp and grits. I've never done shrimp and grits before. I would say that the place I did it, all their dishes were amazingly bland for,
Low
because
country fare.
I was expecting some really flavorful. Okay, let's be honest. Southern Louisiana, we are spoiled by the Cajuns.
That is fact. That is a fact.
Because every now and again you go someplace they're like, how about the blackened catfish? And you're like, just because you overcooked it doesn't make it blackened.
That's right. That's right.
I went to the hotel bar because we stayed like in a timeshare that when they can't get enough suckers, they just rent the rooms out to whomever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to the hotel bar, and the lady, I'm like, I don't know. I go, what should I get? And she's like, I'm thinking about the fish tacos. And she goes, those are my favorites. Those are wonderful. You're going to love them. She goes, I get them every time. Well, I don't get them every night. Because sometimes it depends on who's in the kitchen. If the white people in the kitchen, and this is a white lady. No, this is a white lady. She goes, if the white people in the kitchen, they don't make them right. When the Jamaicans are in, then you get the fish
All right,
tacos.
that's fair. That's fair.
And I go, well, who's working tonight? She's like, the Jamaicans. I was like, hook me up.
Tacos
And I got
it
free
is.
beer out of it.
Nice.
Because they had the jerk spices on them. Just fantastic. Very, very flavorful. Not overpowering. Just, you're not like take 3 bites and you're just sweating profusely and, you're rubbing your head against your beer
Yeah.
bottle.
Oh man, I will tell you, the bar I worked at, we had that kitchen, and man, one of the guys, the blackened chicken, there was the best blackened chicken I've ever had because it always came out moist, but
Nice.
seasoned perfectly, black as could be, but just perfectly cooked.
But not like,
Exactly.
because I think Babe got like blackened shrimp fettuccine, which
Mhm.
was kind of okay. I was supposed to have shrimp and grits, and I'm sitting there going, okay. Because like I had grits I like grits.
Grits are good.
Just put that out there. I like them. So I went and we went to like an all-you-could-eat buffet type of thing. So I got the grits and I put cheddar cheese in them because the grits were hot. So it melted the cheese, made them cheesy. The waitress like asked me if I was going to grind up, some bacon and throw them in there. And I was like, I was that close. I almost did it. I thought about it. She goes, you should have done it. But these shrimp and grits, they were okay. The grits were just plain bland, not a lot of seasoning to them. They put cheese on top, and the cheese sauce was flavorless too. It was just kind of a layer of orange. And then they had some shrimp in there that were just kind of burled.
Boiled shrimp.
Really boiled shrimps. Not really kind of spiced up in any way. It's like, come
That's
on, man. Tony
weird.
Cattry's in a pot. Come on, let's do this.
Some Zatarain's balls.
Some
Chad.
Zatarans, and let's cook this shit up right.
We are spoiled in that way. That is a fact.
But they were okay. I didn't mind them.
Okay. All right.
They did bring out, instead of like a basket of chips, a basket of hush puppies
All right, can you go wrong with that?
with honey butter.
Oh, nice.
And they come out, they have the basket of hush puppies and they have the honey butter on top, upside down. So it's melting
Into the cornbread.
Into the cornbread. Yeah. So I was like, check it out. I was like, I mean, cornbread and cornbread. If I was drinking moonshine, I think I would have the corn trifecta.
The restaurant we ate with the boys at yesterday, someplace in our town, Southern food, and it was pretty good. Best thing we had was the appetizer we got before the boys got there. It was pimento cheese, and then they had these house-made crackers made with red wheat.
And hot links on top?
No hot links, just the pimento cheese and the crackers. But the crackers were, I shit you not, the best crackers I've ever had in my life. And as I said to my wife, I'm something of a cracker connoisseur. And she said, just because you've eaten Ritz all your life. I'm like, I've eaten more than Ritz, thank you.
I've eaten Food Club.
I've had club crackers. I've had saltines. I've eaten the drumettes, the chickens and the biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
All the redneck crackers, I've had them all. But they were like I said, we went through the crackers fast. We got through the pimento cheese, and we said something. And next thing we know, she brought out a whole basket of these crackers. I was like, "Oh shit, this is not good." And I'm at that point, I just left the cheese knife on the plate and just started scooping with the crackers.
Absolutely.
And they were like these long, like
yes,
like this shape.
Yeah.
They were like paddles. They were like planks, and they were dense, but they were still crispy. They didn't hurt your teeth to bite into them. They snapped to them. They were so good.
One, the pimento cheese and the cracker. When Stacy got married at like her I don't know what the fuck you call it. Rehearsal dinner.
Dinner. Okay.
Rehearsal dinner. Saltines, pimento cheese, and a hot link on top.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
I was like, oh my God, could this be any more white trash? Bring me the whole plate. I just went through the whole batch of it.
Nice.
At the early days of Fun Days, they used to have this like garlic butter. Okay, so you went to Fun Days. There's like 3,200 people there, and it's
Yes.
an absolutely insane madhouse. The first one I went to, there was maybe 100 people. This
Wow.
is this is where I meet Will and his wife. This is before his youngest kid is born, Xavier. Tegan's like 2. I think she's going into the 9th grade next year. Anyway,
Jesus.
that's how long I've been sitting with those guys for Fun Days. But there's only like 100 people there. And they have this garlic butter dip that is just amazing. Garlic cheese dip. It's just, oh, it was soft and creamy and garlicky and salty. And Will and his brother-in-law go up, and it was a buffet style. It was like a fajita bar, right?
Okay.
Because there's only 100 people there. You
Right,
can do
right.
that kind of stuff. They go up there and they just take the entire table. We're just like scarfing on this cheese dip, butter, garlic stuff. And it was phenomenal. And even to this day, if you ask Will about it, he'll tell you, because that changed your life. It changed your life, man.
That's too funny.
You know, one year we did it. So we're sitting there, we're having dinner. This guy comes over, plate of food, sits down at our table. Nobody's seen him before. He doesn't really look like a collector. He's wearing a suit, loosened tie, gray, salt, pepper, beard, all that stuff. And he's just sitting there happily eating away, eating away, eating away. And then they start to do the awards and the giveaways, and he leaves. And we realize he'd staggered into the room by mistake and stayed for dinner, sat at our table, and then away he went.
That's too funny.
And then last year, well, you were there. 3,200 of your closest friends screaming their heads off.
Far too close. Far too close.
So this year it's indoors, pirate themed, and
Indoors?
2 nights. Yes, it's indoors. It's at the Manchester Grand Hyatt in the ballroom.
Okay. Well, that'll make it a little more.
That'll make it a lot easier. And hopefully it's the Hyatt food. And the food, they just put out appetizers. So you could walk around, just get a little plate of whatever.
Okay. Which Hyatt you said?
The Grand Hyatt.
The one next door? Which one's that? Oh, sweet.
The one on the end, yeah. Yeah. I stayed there once. It was fantastic. Fun Days is over. I go to my room. I drop all my stuff off, change clothes, come back down. Ready to go. Like, oh, you don't have to go anywhere. I'm like, no, done. Let's do it.
That is a bucket list item for me, is to stay in either that one or the Bay Hilton. One of the two. I haven't gotten that yet.
The Grand Hyatt, that the year I got that, I was amazed. But I went in and I asked about early check-in.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady, I told her, I was like, hey, I am probably way too early to check in, but it doesn't hurt to ask, right? And she goes, oh, okay. And she goes, yeah. She goes, we don't really start checking until like 1:00. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. You guys got a bag check because I would like to drop my stuff off. And she goes, how about this? Give me 5 minutes. Wait over there. So I walk over there and she waves me back. She goes, we have a room ready for you. Do you mind? She goes, we won't. There's no change in price. Do you mind an ocean view? And I'm like, no, I don't. So,
why would I?
So
I'm looking at the people all day long. Why wouldn't I want to change the scenery?
So 15 minutes later, I am now checked in, sitting in my room on the edge of my bed, looking out over the bay.
Nice.
It's like going, oh, too bad this can't last.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So it's 2 nights. It's
So
indoors.
it's one night. Yeah, 2 nights indoors.
Pirate themed. We've
Pirate
established.
themed. Mhm.
I want the Kraken pop. I know that.
The what?
The Kraken one. The Kraken team.
No, the
one.
mascot.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's the best one. Everybody's like, I want to be a proto pirate. Man, why aren't you a big butt pirate?
It's at the level of conversation amongst you folks.
The first year they did it, right? And we do believe, Will and I believe, that we have caused changes to Funko's Fun Day policies.
Having seen y'all in action, I believe that to be probably true.
So one year we win loudest table, right? He he and his family, me and a couple of other people, we went Loudest Table. We come back the next year. By God, we're going to do it again. This is Will holding one of his children up on a chair, waving his
Shaking
baby
them.
in the air. Yeah. We win it again the next year. And so then we're like, oh, people are going to be trying and gunning for us and all this stuff. And so we showed up with a bullhorn. We bought a bullhorn.
Nice.
And again, we won Loudest Table. But I mean, we were just so obnoxious with the bullhorn. The next year, bullhorns were disallowed. They were going to kick you out if you came in with a bullhorn. So we had it tucked at the bottom of our bag. We brought our own liquor, so we were drinking heavy all night. And I mean, we won it again. And then like 2 years later, as they went to the Hyatt, they went to the first one with sections.
Mhm.
And we went in there, we got our table, and everybody that we knew got tables around us. Like, you could go in and pick where you sat.
Right.
And so we ended up with a group of connected people of about, I don't know, a third of the section, right? And that was the year of Deadpool. And we were chanting, Deadpool, Deadpool, so loud. We won everything. Our section won everything because we were so obnoxious. And every time they would try and speak, we just, let's hear it from this section. And then we'd start chanting and overwhelm all the other sections. It was nuts.
I imagine it's easier to make yourself heard in the enclosed space than it was last year outside because it was just noise.
Carries.
It was just noise, right? It just indecipherable noise was all it was.
What was nice though is that when we came back the next year, you couldn't do that seating. They were going to stick you in seats randomly, and we're like, well, that's to break us up. And I told Will, I go, I bet you, Bunny, none of the names of the teams will be chantable like Deadpool. And they weren't. There was the Avengers. There was the Gilf. I mean, it was all nothing that you could do a good chant with. Last year with Feed the Bears was fantastic. You couldn't beat that.
Right. True.
And that's why I think Feed the Bear ended up taking over and why we won all the big prizes last year. But, we've done it where we're getting people up and on their feet and yelling and stuff. One year, one of my friends, they were trying to do something in their 80s night, and they played Duran and they stopped. And then me and like a couple of the other people at the table were like, everybody stopped. There's no noise except for this group of like 5 of us going, We
need to figure out some sea shanties before we go.
Oh, yes. And, costuming, because it's like, I want to go the big puffy shirt, but I like the idea of the coach's shorts and the Pittsburgh Pirate hat and the Dread Pirate Clemente.
That's funny as hell.
I know. They're like, oh, you're going to be the Pirate Stargell? I'm like, no, I'm the Dread Pirate Clemente. And I'm here for the booty. And also prizes.
Dread Pirate Clemente is amazing, by the way.
And I was like coming up with the accent for Frank. He's like, how come you sound like, fat bastard? I'm like, I don't know, but that just because I was like, we rode the streets of the Allegheny, the falls of the Ohio, the monsters of the Monongahela, the scourge of the Missouri.
The Monongahela.
The Monongahela. We laid waste to the lakes of Minnesota. Little dead hot dishes all over the landscape. Hey, Wisconsin, we're going to kick Door County in and kick your ass.
There'll be no cards for you this year.
Aye. That's right. No cheese for you, bastards.
You betcha.
You betcha. We'll take all your cheese.
Then what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Team up with those pussies from Michigan? Huh?
Wolverines. Deadpool.
Deadpool.
It's a callback, laddie.
And it's one that works. But yes, I was like doing this whole bit for Frank. He just was like, he goes, where does this come back from? I was like, I don't know. I haven't even came up with a name for my boat yet. But I'm the Dread Pirate Clemente.
Hold on. The SS Teculve. Kent Teculve, the side arming relief pitcher.
Oh, there we go.
The Teculve.
Yeah, we're going to have to look up pirates history and pull out colorful names.
Well, Barry Bonds was a pirate.
Oh.
Bobby Bonilla.
Was he?
Yeah. They were on the Pirates at the same time.
Oh, wow. That could be fun.
Oh, Dave Parker was a pirate.
I thought about that one too.
I love that
Willie
like
Stardom.
70s. Yeah, I love that 70s pirate scene, man. I was all over that
Honus
shit.
Wagner was one.
Ha ha! The Flying Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman.
There's the name of your ship. There's the name of your ship right there.
Dutchman.
That's the name of the ship.
It's the Flying Dutchman. That's right. Yes, we are Missouri River Pirates.
We ran west to all the booty on the Monongahela.
We pillaged Paducah and looted Louisville. Yes, that could be a lot of fun. The Dread Pirate Clemente.
That is, I love that.
That'd be funny. Get the big puffy shirt. In yellow.
Or black with yellow shorts.
Black with yellow shorts, yes.
Just canary yellow shorts.
Uh-huh.
And some knee socks with yellow and black stripes.
And I can tell you what, the Funko crowd, out of 2,000 people, that you're probably going to get about 50 who get the joke.
I don't care. Do you care?
I don't either.
It's a damn good joke.
Walking with a pirate's cap and like this ridiculously wild flowing Stevie Van Zandt bandana flowing behind me. The coach is. I think it'd be best too to find the striped socks. With
that's what I was just saying. Are just like the knee high athletic socks with the yellow and black stripes. I'm walking with 2 patches on.
Exactly. Hey, look! It's Angel Hernandez. He's one of us.
I did drill team.
You think you got robbed at the plate? You did.
I. You robbed at the plate, robbed at the store.
Whatever you are, we robbed you, boy.
All right, I have to make this. The canary yellow coat shorts would just be fantastic with like a sash.
Yeah, big yellow sash. Canary yellow shorts, the black sash, the pirate's hat, and the big puffy shirt.
Yep.
Yes, the Dread Pirate.
Aboard the Flying Dutchman.
Aboard the Flying Dutchman. I thought it'd be kind of funny now that I got tickets is to take the Fun Days logo. And yeah, it's copyright violation. Basically, you can take Fun Days out and just make that
flag.
That flag, yes. And it's like I'm sick because I was sitting there going, how would we do that? Because you would have to be able to like break the stick down and get like a stick, to build the thing. And then when they start, that would be funny. I think we could get away with that. Is if we
stick it in the middle of the table.
Stick it in the middle of the table, and when they start doing the section, you just wave that above the ground.
Bring one of those little fans in so it billows. We need bubble guns.
Oh, we've been worried last couple of times that they were going to really check our bags. So one year we're in line outside the Hyatt, and somebody had a pop-up tent. We had coolers. So we had people who were staying in the hotel. Okay. They came down. They brought a cooler with them. So we had a cooler full of beer and bags of chips. and we were standing out there against the side of the Hyatt with this pop-up tent, and they made us take the tent down. But again, that's the group of folks that I tend to gravitate towards, which are you've seen us. I think a flag would be hilarious. Just waving a big,
I'm looking for the hats. See a lot of them on
Yeah.
eBay.
Oh, those are the vintage hats.
Yeah. There's a fedora. Pirate's fedora.
Pirates fedora. Oh yeah, I think that would come in, and the joke would be enough that some people would get it, and you'd be standing there with your Pittsburgh Pirates hats, and it's like, "What are you? We're Pirates. We're from Pittsburgh. Where are you from, boy?"
It's the inexplicable Irish accent makes it even better.
Yeah, because like I said, it came out. It just kept getting more Irish. I kept trying to do, "Arr, me mateys," but then it's like, once you start raising the volume up, it's hard to like keep that accent.
Yeah,
Irish is just easier. I'm the dread pirate Clemente.
Watch that one go.
That ball is out of here.
Holy cow!
Holy cow, let's do Vince Scully.
I'm Brockmeyer. Oh, all right. So now we have to start getting gear together. All right.
Yep. Oh,
I will endeavor to find that.
hour
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, we're pretty much at the end here. We've been rambling for a while. It's okay. We made up for the last one that I cut short. So
That's okay. I was going to say, I even had like a kind of a cool thing on my desk.
oh, hold on. You do.
I do.
Hold on. I'm not prepared. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. One moment, please. We have to get our technicals in order. Hold on. My wife is scowling at me.
You've been on the phone for an hour.
What's up, buddy? You're not scowling. What's up? Okay, we're wrapping. We're getting close to wrap. All right. Hold on. I have to cue Steve in here. Ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Hey, Steve. What's on your desk?
Well,
Uh-oh. Is that Bizarro? That am Bizarro.
that am Bizarro, yes.
Nice. Is that the McGinnis Bizarro?
It is the McGinnis Bizarro.
Nice.
I was in Target and they had a McFarlane 2-pack. So I've got Bat Zorro here too.
Oh. Me am hate this. Nice.
Yeah, it's a little bit reflection-y, but yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm trying to like not like stray too far aside, but
that is
kind of
magic.
funny is I got the Bat Zorro or Bizarro Bat Zorro. I do not have him wearing his necklace, but he is the Ed
am
McGinnis.
number one.
Am number one. But it's kind of funny because I saw them, I got them, right?
Right.
But as I was looking at other McFarlane figures, it's kind of like it was strange because it was like some of these are really cool sculpts, but they look so lifeless. I mean, they just look like maquettes that they're just so precise that this one jumped out because it's the McGinnis Bizarro and Bat Zorro. So it had a lot more personality.
I
The
love
face
his
was just
style.
over the top. Yeah. So, I've been looking at other of those McFarlane figures, and like I said, so many of them are just kind of,
It's funny you say that because when I was finished eating dinner and before I came out to the garage, I was flipping through Facebook and there was a McFarlane ad, and I really, really want that Dead Man.
Oh, yes.
I want that one. There was one other one I saw that I really liked, but I was scrolling through and I can't remember what it was now. But the Dead Man is at the top of my list. That one is so cool.
I want to say I've seen that, unless
I've not seen one yet. I think we talked about it one time. I think you looked it up one time on the show, but yeah, it is so cool. It's got the little like vapor trail accessory.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Yeah, no, that one is cool. That is very cool. But my opinion is, and my thought is that unless you find like the right character done in the right style, they do look kind of,
Yeah,
which is
and
weird because they've got like incredible sculpts, incredible detail, incredible articulation, but you're just kind of like, they look like they're meant to just be stuck on the shelf and that's it. And
yeah,
like,
yeah. I
I,
and my targets always have the same really weird figure selection, and I'm like, why do we make the Signal A?
yes. Hmm.
That one's never going away.
No.
No one's buying that one. It's a dumb character. Anyway, the Golden Age Flash one, I can't move that one. The
Yeah.
adversary.
Uh huh.
And there's always a Batman of some iteration on the peg, right? Because it's like the old days. There's 18 different
It's-
versions of Batman.
You've got to have it out there. Yes.
So. Well,
But,
should we wrap this one up since we're closing in on our 90-ish minutes?
I think so, probably.
And then I think we can get a couple more in before Comic-Con. I think we can
Okay.
do it. I think we can at least one more. I'm shooting for 2 before Comic-Con. Maybe like do one the week before, kind of our getting ready to go show.
Well, I think we can do one before 4th of July.
Potentially.
So
I may be going to Houston to babysit parents that
Okay.
week. In fact, I am, because my sister's got a trip planned, so I'm going to Houston most of that week. But I could probably bring my computer and I could probably still do one. Yeah.
Do that, or maybe doing Monday night like we've done this time.
Yeah. And I will. I'm going to post up about trying to get some of my friends to just like the page so we can start streaming to Facebook. If you'll share that once I post it, so maybe we can get some traction.
Yeah,
Share
because
it with
once we
your
get up to
Funko
100,
There's always lots of Funko talk. So
well, yeah, but it's like, God, if I get them, I don't want them to steal I don't want to go and be like, oh my God, there's another Dread Pirate Clemente.
well, we
here.
won't mention that again before Comic-Con. That'll
There
just
we
if
go.
they were not listening tonight, they won't get that.
They won't get that.
Yeah. So, all right. So that is the end. I don't think I properly introduced this episode at the top, but this was episode 76 of
Wow.
Slurp Toast, a podcast. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometime in the next year, we should hit that 100. I actually would like to try and maybe do something at Comic-Con this year. We kind of didn't do anything last year, but maybe I think I'm gonna look around. I think I mentioned. I think I have the boys' old GoPro here. If it still works, that'd be fun. But yeah. So anyway, all right. That's episode 76. We will see you in the not too distant future for episode 77. I'm still Bruce. He's the
I'm
Dread
still-
Pirate Clemente.
The
Trebuchet.
Pirate.
And
The
hasta la
Midwestern Irish Pirate Clemente.
vista. All right. Good night, folks.
Good night.